Hello, my name is WENG. My matrix number is 277922. Today I am going to present the Management Ethics Infographic assignment. The title of the movie that we choose for this infographic assignment is Green Book. Green Book is a movie that shows how racial discrimination reflects in the daily life of black people in the Western countries. In this movie, there are two main characters. They are Dr. Don Shirley and Tony Lip. Dr. Don Shirley is an African-American pianist, and Tony Lip is the driver hired by Don Shirley to drive him down south of New York for a concert tour. From this movie, I learned a lot of lessons. The first lesson I learned from Green Book is we should be always open-minded when interacting with people from different race. We should not always think of the bad side of the people just because of the people race. In the movie, Tony and his wife invited plumbers to repair the sink of their house. Tony's father-in-law had blamed Tony for working out late and leaving his wife alone to deal with the black people plumbers. He thinks it is too dangerous for a woman to deal with the black people alone, although the plumbers will not do anything to Tony's wife. In addition, when the plumbers finished their job, Tony's wife gave the plumbers a free drink. Tony saw it and threw the glasses into the rubbish bin because it was used by the black people plumbers. In my opinion, it is unfair to judge the entire group of a particular race by just thinking of all of the people from the race are acting the same. Hence, we should not show prejudice against people from different race just because of the difference in the skin color. We should be more open-minded and appreciate the achievement made by people from the different race. For example, Tony finally feels proud of Dr. Don Shirley after watching his performance on the big stage that is spectated by a huge number of participants. Tony had changed a lot after the concert tour. In the past, Tony would never want to interact with any black people in his daily life. However, Tony had invited Don Shirley to stay and enjoy the Eve dinner with his family. Tony had now become an open-minded person that can interact with black people without any prejudice. It's a lesson that we all should learn, and we have to be open-minded when interacting with people from different race. We should always see people from the other race as the same human being as us and not discriminate against them because of the difference in skin color. The next lesson I learned from this movie is we should recognize and understand our privilege. It is important to recognize our privilege as we can receive an unearned benefit or advantage in society by the nature of our identity. People with privilege will always have higher opportunities and advantage in daily life, such as access to resources, education, and healthcare. People with privilege will also have a higher chance to have a stable life compared with those who don't have the privilege. Inequality exists among the people who have privilege and the people who don't. In the Green Book movie, Don Shirley have been invited to perform a musical show in front of white people in the south of the United States. Don Shirley is allowed to play the piano in the music hall, restaurant, or even living room, but he is not allowed to use the bathroom in the house or eat in the white people restaurants. This is because black people don't have the privilege to use the facilities that were prepared for white people. This issue shows the importance of identifying and understanding the privilege of our race. We should know about our privilege as we can use it to access certain resources from society, such as education, medical treatment, or the use of public facilities. People with privilege have the power and right to be treated fairly by others, since privilege is a thing that is enforced by the law. So it is important to recognize and understand our privilege. The third lesson I learned from this movie is we should seek help from counseling and shout out for our rights. First and foremost, we should always try to confess our feelings to others, no matter what problem we are facing in our life. We need to find someone to talk to when we face difficulties or problems. We somehow feel a bit relieved when we talk about our problems with someone that is willing to listen to our confession. Those who decide to keep all the stress and frustration to themselves will probably have a higher probability of experiencing depression, since they can't find any suitable person to talk to. Even worse, they will suicide when they found that they can handle the stress. In this topic, discrimination has become a daily basis for the black people that live in the United States. In the Green Book movie, Don Shirley keeps enduring his feeling when he faces various types of discrimination in his daily life. Don Shirley finally revealed his frustration and shows his doubt about his race position in society. He came up with a word: so if I am not black enough, and if I am not white enough, and if I am not man enough, then tell me, Tony, what am I? It is the first time Don Shirley had confessed his feelings to someone that he trusted. When coming to reality, it's not wrong for us to confess our problems to others. We can seek help from the people we trusted, such as our family, friends, or counselor. Hence, we should always seek help from someone we trusted. Besides, we should shout for our rights when we face inequality in our life. We should always stand up and fight for our rights and eliminate inequality caused by discrimination. In the Green Book movie, Don Shirley is not allowed to eat in the restaurant based on the rules and culture of the restaurant. Don Shirley insists to eat in the restaurant as he thinks that it is his right to eat in the restaurant. He even gives up the upcoming show in the restaurant. He wants to fight for his right for being treated as a normal person and not treated as a dead person. Hence, what I learned from Don Shirley is we should always fight for our rights when facing any mistreatment or discrimination. We should never let discrimination and mistreatment happen to ourselves and others as well. We should always shout out for our rights and fight for them. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.